Hey, welcome, everybody, for our daily trial coverage of the Tasha K versus, I'm sorry, Latasha Kibi versus Bella Qua, Tasha K versus Cardi B live trial coverage. We have a special guest tonight that's going to be joining us in a little bit. But first, I'm going to recap everything that happened. We actually had a tattletale on the scene. Look at my eyebrows. Sorry. We actually had a tattletale on the scene, sitting in court, taking notes to actually give us the real. We've been getting all these different information. And I said, listen, right? If there's one thing that Atlanta got, right, it's Tattle Tells. So we got Lillie, the red lipstick hustler. Her details for her Instagram and her YouTube, she has her own channel, are in the bio. Go ahead and follow, like, subscribe to her. But she's joining us to actually give us in-person witness about Tasha B State, Cardi B State, how the judge was acting, and how Tasha K's lawyers were acting. Because y'all, according to all accounts, and even Lily's, we're going to question her. She's going to give you everything. Those lawyers are a GD mess. They are a GD mess. Literally. Yes. Listen, it's a dry January. I'm going to try not to curse this week, right? Because I'm classy like that and I don't need to curse, right? Anyway, here we go. Listen. Listen. No, you didn't drag me on my own channel. Godmother Earth said, yes, you made a live on time. Hey, Tisa. Excuse me, for all the new people, I'm always on time. Like, I might not be there when you call, but I'm always there on time. All right, y'all, let's get into this mess. Okay, takeaways for the trial that we need to know for day 5, right? Takeaways for the trial that we need to know for day 5. Today was a big day. Now, listen, I want y'all to know right now, and if you are watching this on paper, I am not pro Tasha. I'm not pro Cardi. I am not anti Tasha. I am not anti Cardi. I don't have a dog in this fight. We are reporting on the trial the same way you watch a football game. Consider me your ESPN of messiness. Now, let's get into this. I'm going to be going pro, con, asking questions. If you don't like people in curious minds and you don't like people asking questions, then I don't know. Shadow box, but don't change the channel. Just stay here. Okay, so listen, right? Here's the thing. Today was a big day for Cardi B. Now, just to let you guys know, overview, right? You guys already know this for trial. If you know it, great. You're the smartest person in the room, but I'm explaining to people who are just now jumping in, right? The trial opened, of course, the plaintiff, which is Cardi B, because it is civil, not criminal. If it was criminal, it'd be a prosecutor, is questioning. They have the floor, and they're putting on their case about how Tasha K deserves to go to hell, right? Tasha K is the defense. Today, she started her defense. So the prosecution gets to run their whole case, right? That's why last week, you know, their little lawyers for Cardi B was dancing on Tasha K's head. And this is another reason why people are like, it's over for Tasha K. It's over. Hey, Zanelle, what's up? Thank you for the super chat. Hey, babes. Like, it's over. It's over for Tasha K, because it wasn't Tasha K's time to shine. Now, the question is, with the lawyers, and we're going to get into this, is it ever going to be Tasha K's time to shine? Because I literally was like last week, like, just wait. She got an ace in the hole, and everybody was like, ooh, don't look good. And I was like, shh, come on. She got an ace in the hole. This is literally like, it's a Hail Mary, right? This is either the dumbest defense or the most like high level defense on such a deeper level that I can't even comprehend the moves that they are making. That's what I was hoping, because I like to see a fair fight. I don't like it when, it's kind of like with, I don't really watch sports, but when you do watch sports, when one team is so dominating that they're like 103-2, who wants to watch just somebody being dunked on over and over and over? I want to see, like, two worthy adversaries mentally tussling, getting it in. Ooh, that was a good one. Ooh, I want to see something like the Romans and the gladiators with the lions. Give me a show. The thing is, the closer and closer it looks like Tasha K's defense, I don't know if there's an ace in the hole. It's like crazy like a fox. I was like, no, you guys just wait. They're probably crazy like a fox. And now the more I'm paying attention, I'm like, They seem to be just crazy. Oh, goodness. Clutches pearls, right? So today, Cardi B rested, right? Which means, okay, we're done with putting on our, our why can't I even talk? We're done putting on basically our show. That's what it is, right? And now it's Tasha K's turn to launch her defense, right? This is the show and prove time. If she has any secret weapons, if she has any ace of the holes, if she has anything that's going to turn it around, she must show it now. But judging by the way they performed in court today, and we're about to get into that, and then Lily's going to come on later and give us her eyewitness account. Oh, it's looking bad. It's looking bad. It's looking bad. And I just want to be clear before we get into this, you guys. I just started on YouTube in May. I made my YouTube account in January 2020. And that was just for me to watch videos. I was watching Erica De Niro, Rodney The Voice, Contrary Canary, Brooke Ashley, all the Jamie That's Me, Bondi Blue, Niecy Dixon, right? All of them. However, I got involved in May, right? I used to watch reality TV guys. So a lot of the history with Tasha K and Cardi B, I actually had to go back and watch videos. I'm still trying to watch videos. But from what I've seen from the IG things that were posted on Instagram, Tasha K's attack of Cardi B and Cardi B responses, y'all. Those girls were wild. It was the wild, wild west. I had to put my headphones in because I was like, I don't want anybody to hear this, right? Now, here's the thing, right? Listen. I'm not saying I don't know who Tasha is. I'm saying I know who Tasha K is. I know, of course, I know about her. I'm saying I did not. When this first started, I did not dive into Tasha K's 50,000 videos and watch 7,300 hours of her going at Cardi B and Cardi B going out with them. Y'all, I do have a life outside of this, right? I educated myself, but when I say this, a lot of people have personal feelings because they were there, right? So they're personally attached to whether Tasha K's right or whether Cardi B's right. And I appreciate the fact that I come in where I don't have an opinion of all of them. When I was watching it happen, I wasn't even on YouTube, and I was like on Instagram and seeing clips of Cardi B's. So you know, it's kind of like you just see two people arguing. You don't know who's right or wrong. I was just like, God, these girls are wild. So that's the way I'm approaching this trial. I have no allegiance or loyalty to anyone. I don't know who did who wrong. I don't know where it started. That's what the court case is for. This is no longer the court of public opinion. Cardi B took it to the courts. She wants the court to decide, and I'm going to go by what the courts say, right? Listen. Now, here we go. Cardi B's doctor testified that her mental health deteriorated drastically between 2018 and 2020 from when she first met with her in 2018 and when her management called her for help in 2020. Now, pay attention to this doctor because this is an interesting tidbit, right? She testified that she did a risk assessment because she showed symptoms of depression. Fair enough, right? Now, get this. She showed symptoms of depression. And when she did the risk assessment, that's when she determined that Cardi B was, thinking about ending things. Now, a couple of things you need to know about the doctor, because again, I believe knowledge matters. I believe that if you are stepping into an arena, right, and you are putting forth your expertise, then I want to know, like, okay, where'd you come from? Who are you, right? So this is no shade to the doctor, but the doctor's name was Dr. Sherry Enterprise, I believe, right? Dr. Sherry Enterprise, I believe. I'm going to absolutely clarify on that. She definitely is a Black woman. And when you see her face, she might look familiar to you because she's also a psychiatrist that the Real Housewives use. She's appeared on multiple reality TV shows as the in-house doctor. And she's a reality TV psychiatrist. Now, I will say in the field of medicine, a lot of doctors say that if it is for TV or if it is being filmed or outside audiences, you cannot actually really have a true, real session because people don't open up. So in that case, she is operating as a doctor on TV. Other people could say, right, that there are some people that say that doctors that appear on reality TV shows for whatever reason, how can I say this? Well, I don't have to say it. She appeared on many reality TVs. She is a reality TV therapist. That does not mean that she is not credentialed. That's why she was picked to be on TV. However, we know on TV, it's all a scene. A lot of doctors say that it's actually unethical for doctors to film a patient treatment and actually for TV because it is something very sacred. I don't agree with that. If the patient wants it filmed, that's fine. But judging from what we saw with Portia Family Matters and all reality TV, it's heavily scripted. The people are savvy. They're trying to get. So when I see a reality TV therapy scene, I look at it as fake. There's not very many that I see people being vulnerable. I always think you're doing this for a reason. But that is where you know this doctor. That's not to say she isn't qualified. She's super qualified. But I just want you to know a little bit about her work history. Okay, so she said she first was flown out to Cardi B because Cardi B was in a hotel room and she was pretty much just not comatose, but she was just pretty much unresponsive in the way that she was so sad and so depressed and so, I don't mean to make light of it, but I don't want to say the word, so ready to take herself off this earth that she literally, right? She literally was just laying in a bed unresponsive. And they called her in because they were super concerned. She would not talk. She would not eat. She would not respond to anybody. They were super concerned and they called her in and she stayed there for 8 hours for an evaluation. Now, I will say this, right? Most evaluations by a therapist happen 1, 2, 3 times. However, if you had the money and the time, she said Tasha K paid her a total of $10,000. If anybody knows anything about therapy, those hours sound about right, right? She charges $250 an hour. She met with Tasha K Cardi B numerous times. She charges $250 an hour. Cardi B paid her a total of $10,000. She stayed with her for 8 hours. I do know from what I have read about therapy, and I am not a psychiatrist, but from what I've read about that, 8 hours with someone, I would assume is long enough to diagnose something like that. I do not know if she did any if she did any testing, if she assessed for any personality disorders. That is Cardi B's own personal information. But this is where it was. Now, get this, right? So this we go. Now, Tasha King, and there's more to this. When Lillie comes on, she's going to fill in the blanks, right? Tasha K team cross-examined and pointed out that none of the doctor's notes mentioned anything about suicidal thought, which is what her lawyers have been claiming this whole trial. Now, here's the thing. Her lawyers, by all accounts, right, were so bumbling in this. They did get this good point across, and I think that is a good point. If you did an evaluation and the whole reason you were there is because people thought she was suicidal, why was that? Oh, I just messed up my own algorithm. Why was that not mentioned anywhere at all in the medical documents? If anybody knows anything about medical documents, the doctors are assessing you. They need to actually make note of what the issue actually is, right? What the symptoms are, what the illness is, what they think it is, and what they think the next course of action is. Not just for themselves. Doctors' notes are there that just in case you're like, I don't like you anymore, I'm going to go to a new therapist. They send those notes to the new therapist, and the new therapist uses that as an arsenal to help treat you, right? So the doctor's notes must be thorough. It's like me going in for like, my appendix needs to be out. And then the doctor never mentions that my appendix was removed. So if I go to another doctor or if I have pain and people are like, well, maybe it's your appendix, Tisa. That's why you need the doctor's note to actually say what the issue was and what the resolution was or what the treatment will be. Now, right? I want to point out, but this is again where Tasha K's team really dropped the ball, because even me being a layman and you have Cardi B on the stand and you can literally now you're doing your direct examination as a defense, right? Listen, the doctor said, she responded. She said she countered that the risk assessment is something only done if the suicide risk is imminent. Again, to me, you're playing word solid. Was she contemplating seriously taking herself off, or was it more depression or anxiety? What questions could her lawyers have asked to actually lead? Well, for one, you said that in 2008, 2018, 2020. You're trying to blame Tasha K for the whole state of her mental thing. Okay, you're trying to blame Tasha K. As a defense attorney, I would have said, what else was Cardi B going through in 2018? See, a lot of people think that Cardi B's been around for a while. And I know she has been kind of like on the underground, your fave rapper. But in 2018, if I'm not mistaken, is when Bodak Yellow came out. That was her first mainstream hit. Once we got a hit of Cardi B, she became an international superstar, world renowned in under 2 years. Everybody knows the effect of fame on people. Everybody knows backstabbers, liars, users, stealers, your record company working you like a dog because you're nothing but a cash cow to them. This is not anything about Cardi B specifically. This is what every artist that has had an unprecedented rise to fame always says. If I was your defense attorney, I literally would have said, you're trying to blame us for this. Could it have been the pressures of her unprecedented stardom that also contributed to her feelings of disassociation, her feelings of depression, her feelings of not being worthy, right? I then would have gone on to say, okay, let's keep talking. And the doctor would have been like, no, I think it was just Tasha K, right? I then would have said, right? Was Tasha K the only one saying something about her? Excuse me? Was Tasha K saying this on something about her? Because at that time, every blog from Bossip on down was putting out stories about Cardi B. As a matter of fact, Tasha K's defense, rightly so, I don't know if they're going to highlight it, but I believe they pointed out that story about her having an STD actually originated on Bossip. Bossip, that on Bossip.com was the one that ran that story and never retracted it. If you Google it, it's still up there. As far as I know, right? I checked it a couple of weeks ago. It's still up there. That would have been my second question. You're trying to so all this, and you guys, this is not a defense of Tasha K. I'm saying if I was in the courtroom as a defense attorney, these are the questions I would have been asking, right? Now, right? Let's do this. So we have like all that. Again, you are trying to blame this person's mental state on me. So I need to know what else was going on in her life. You say that your client felt so disgusted by the lies that Tasha K was saying that she could not even touch her husband. She couldn't have marital relationships with him. Okay. Do you think also her husband being caught numerous times cheating on her might have also caused her depression? Do you think that her husband numerous times publicly humiliating her and in that time filing for divorce 2 or 3 times? Do you think that might have had something to do with her not wanting her husband to touch her? These are just questions I would have asked as the defense attorney, right? This is my whole point. I'm not saying Cardi didn't suffer from this. From all accounts, her testimony was heartbreaking. My point is, if I'm a defense attorney and I'm trying to get my client off, why aren't you asking these tough questions? Why aren't you pushing back on the narrative of like, okay, fine. Maybe I did make your life miserable, but was I the only source of misery in your life? If you are trying to give me complete accountability, they didn't ask not one of those questions. The only good thing they had to say was to the doctor, why didn't you put it in your notes? Which is a great question. But where is the follow-up? Where is the follow-up? To the point of, I would have been like, if you're saying all these things, did my reporting make Cardi B allegedly run up into a strip club and try to fight allegedly, because she's facing trial on that, one of the women that Offset was cheating on you with? Were you in your right mind then? Were you depressed then? Did I drive you to do that? That's what I would have asked. Her defense attorney just skipped over all of this. And honestly, it was giving, I've heard, Lillie actually said she's going to give her things. It was giving public defender tea. It was giving public defender tea. Tasha K is a millionaire. She has to be. I know what my views get on YouTube, and Tasha K has 100 more time views than I do, easily. On her worst day, it's 100 times better than my best day. I can pretty much gauge what Tasha's making just on YouTube ad revenue. That doesn't count Patreon, that doesn't count her app, and it doesn't count her sponsorships that she has, all those sponsored things that she has in her thing. She is making money. So why do you have lawyers that are giving public and you know what? I don't want to disrespect public defenders. I apologize. Public defenders do a tough job and they do their best. Their case all right. So I don't want to disrespect public defenders. It's giving second year law school tea, and you're in the legal clinic and you don't know what's going on, and the attorney is supposed to be supervising you. It's just like figuring out on your own. That's the tea it's giving. That's the key. It's giving first year attorney, don't know what's going on, but you're trying your best. It's giving my cousin Vinny without the inspiration, the razzle dazzle, the pizzazz. There ain't no Marissa Tomei and it ain't no Vinny either. Listen, that's what it's giving it. Listen, no, Tasha is a million. Listen, Tasha K is a multimillionaire by now. Tasha K does not lead a extravagant life. She lives a good life. Don't get me wrong. Beautiful kids, big house, vacation every now and then. But she don't be like buying. Oh, hey, what's up, B? What's up, Mama? No, Tasha K is amazing. But let me say, Tasha K don't be sitting there talking about Gucci, Lindy. Tasha K does not waste her money on private flights. Tasha K is not trying to keep up with the Joneses. I'm 100% sure. Again, I don't know anything, is my opinion. But if I was a betting woman, I would bet good money on the fact that Tasha K is a multi-millionaire. Multi-millionaire. And I'm not talking about 2, 3, 4. The money when I look at my dollars, the money Tasha K must be giving out, I wouldn't be surprised if Tasha K is making $1 million a month on YouTube easily in her ad revenue. I'm being serious, guys. But let's get into this some more, right? Again, tell me what you think when Lillie comes on. I'll be looking at the comments when Lillie comes on. I'll have a chance to read the comments while she's explaining and I'm questioning her. But again, her lawyers, there's so many ways they could have waged a better defense. So many ways. Oddly enough, the judge by the eyewitness account seemed to be very, very upset with Tasha K, and by upset, just plain sick of her. He was just plain sick of Tasha K, right? Every time he said something, he was just getting frustrated. This leads me to believe from other eyewitness accounts that when they said that Tasha K's attorney was getting in trouble for trying to signal to her, I don't think they were trying to signal her what to say. I think they were trying to signal her that, shut up. Shh, no, don't say that. Literally, I just would have been like, please be quiet. She's still talking. It was a mess. Now get this, right? Tasha K's lawyer, again, I can't stress enough, seems super, super bad at their jobs, right? After the Cardi team rested their cases, the defense first witness was Tasha K, and their team didn't really even know how to question her, right? And the thing is, they didn't know how to question her without being leading, right? For anybody that knows with anything about questioning, the lawyers you see on TV, like Matlock, I don't know what lawyer shows are they're on. I don't think there's any more lawyer shows, but Suits, right? Those lawyers that you see in Suits when they're doing the cross-examination, most of the things that they do are actually illegal. Hey, Princess Di, you said, remember Tasha K probably got a lot of videos demonetized for just saying anything in her rants. All right. But how can you, I have a question though. How can you tell when a video is demonetized? Because can we tell from the outside looking in whether a video is demonetized? I'm being serious. I don't know when to tell if a video is demonetized. I know that you might not see ads, but that just could be because you have YouTube Premium. In the thing, hey, Lily's backstage. I'm just going to say a few other things, and then we're going to bring her up for you guys to actually ask her questions because she was there. But I just want to finish this quick point. Okay. Okay. Again, by all accounts, she was super nervous, speaking too fast, and rambling. I want to actually ask Lillie about that in her impressions because she actually was there. And both her own lawyer and judge had to tell her to slow down when she was speaking multiple times. Let me tell y'all something. Again, from what I've seen on YouTube with Tasha K, and I was introduced to Tasha K the middle of 2021 and to now. Apparently, that was this is a kinder a kind, more gentle version of Tasha K. And now that I see what's going on in this trial, I see why. Because she got all of hell breathing down her throat, and she don't want none of that smoke. So I guess she is literally trying to play nice. I also would say that, again, Tasha K, if these reports are to be believed that she's stumbling and this and that, she acts like someone that knows that they are about to lose a lot. You know what I'm saying? They're going after 10 million in damages, and I bet you Tasha K easily has that in her corporate bank account. But don't forget, there were also reports that there was an IRS Treasury agent. This is alleged. We don't know if there was actually an IRS Treasury agent sitting in the courtroom taking notes, but I wouldn't be surprised because that's what happens with these high-profile cases, especially when your income is earned not from an employer, but when it's earned just on yourself. They look to see if there's any revenue sources they haven't gotten in. All right, you guys, listen, there's a lot more to say. We got Lillie, the red lipstick hustler, is joining us. She actually was our in-trial correspondent. Woo! Tattle Tells, stand up. We got the finest right there. Lillie, of course, is Miss Atlanta. She has a thriving makeup line, a thriving beauty line. She also is a self-published author, billboard. She is well respected in the community. And what's more, she is just an awesome, gorgeous individual. And she knows her stuff. And she'll tell it like it is, but she's always respectful when she does. And she's the perfect foil to my messy tell it like it is. So with all due respect, right? Let's bring Lillie on. And any of you guys want to find out how to find Lillie, her Instagram and her YouTube link are down there in the description comments. So let's bring Lillie up here. Lillie, how are you, mama? How are you doing?
Good. How you doing, queen?
I'm doing good. I love the silky black. Listen, all the hair dye I put in my hair, you could tell is coming out. I got to dye my hair.
You look beautiful. Your hair is fine.
I know, but I want those raven locks like you. I just want the raven locks like, hello, you know? So listen, we just got done talking, but we got a lot of questions for you. Now, I want to know, first of all, what was the general tone, but what was the vibe in the courtroom? What was the general vibe? How was the crowd reacting?
The general vibe and how the crowd was reacting, it was like we was lost because the testimony was all over the place.
Now, when you say the testimony, are you talking about Cardi B's or Tasha K's?
Tasha K, because Cardi didn't testify today.
Oh, okay. So it's just her doctor that testified, right?
Yes, just her therapist, yes.
Okay, so I have questions about the therapist testimony, but let's jump into what everybody wants to know. When you say Tasha K's testimony was all over the place, describe something that stuck out in your head.
Anytime they would ask her something, even her own attorney, she would stumble over her words. She would be hitting the mic back and forth with her hand. She would talk fast. So the when question that they would ask her, yes.
No, go
on. The question that they would ask her, she didn't answer the questions. She would talk about things that didn't have anything to do with what the attorneys asked her.
Okay, so let's role play so everybody can get a visual. So I'm like, Lillie, you're Tasha K, right? Tasha K, is it true you were in the courthouse today at 1:30 p.m.? What would be a typical answer that she would give?
Was I? Can you repeat that? I'm being honest.
Did she really do that?
Yes.
Okay, so give an example of the way she would answer completely different questions. So I'll do that. Tasha K, is your hair black and are you wearing a beautiful shade of red lipstick? How would she respond to that?
Is it gray? Can you repeat that? And moving the mic, and she kept saying my throat is dry, but she had a big thing of water up there. It had a lot to do with her being nervous. She wasn't a normal Tasha K.
Was her voice shaking?
Her voice wasn't shaky, I'm going to be honest, but I do think she was nervous, but her voice wasn't shaky.
Can you give us an example of the way she was waving her hands around? Like, was she talking a lot with her hands, or was she?
Let me see. I'm going to put this in front of me. Can you see my glass?
Yes.
And she kept hitting it.
Really?
She kept talking with her hands.
Mm-hmm.
And it's okay to talk with your hands, but she was doing it so much that it was weird. I'm just being honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
I never seen her do it on her show. She was
Mm.
using her hands a lot, and she was talking about things that I'm telling you that did not have anything to do with the questions. And she was using her hands a lot, just
There
moving her
were
hands.
okay, there were reports that she was speaking very quickly too. Did you find that
Yes,
to be true? When
it's
she
true. That's
when she
true.
was speaking quickly, was she jumbling her words or was it more like manic? Like, you know, like when you were a little
It was
kid.
all that together, and I'm not exaggerating.
Really?
It was not the Tasha K that we see on YouTube. Because on YouTube, she's professional. I've never seen her that way until in court.
Would you say that her manner maybe struck you as fearful?
You said what now?
Do you think that her manner that she was talking and moving, do you think that you like do you think it was fearful? Like I remember when I was in 3rd grade and we knew we were about like when mom and dad got home, we were about to get lit up. So when they're just like, what happened? You're just like, oh, ah, and you're just like manic because you don't want to get a
It
whooping.
probably
Do you think?
was. I would say yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So do you think that she was even though she wasn't answering the questions directly, do you think she was hostile?
A little. I'm gonna tell you what I paid attention to. I think she was a little nervous about the judge as well because things that she kept doing.
Mhm.
So it was throwing her off. It's already throwing her off that she's being sued. It was throwing her off because things she's already has done that was becoming very agitated to everybody else. And maybe the judge wasn't, but I can tell that he everybody was a little frustrated with her. I'm gonna be honest. So I think
What
she was so worried about everybody being frustrated with her. She wasn't herself. Like she stood up there by her chair and didn't sit down for a while when she was on the stand. I didn't understand that. Um, Queen, it wasn't the Tasha K that you know here on YouTube. It wasn't.
So, just for anyone that doesn't watch Tasha K regularly, when you say she wasn't her regular Tasha K, who is the Tasha K that you know on
Tasha is
YouTube?
vibrant, although she's messy, but she's vibrant. She's in
Mhm.
control. She's running her show. She knows everything that's going on around her. She's very aware. She's not aware on the stand at all.
Mm. Now, Princess Di, thank you so much for the super chat. Says, "Hey Lily, she didn't seem like the confident Tasha that she portrays on her page. She knows she lost the case. Now, listen, we know this is just all your eyewitness account, right? But listen, you're in the courtroom. We're
Mhm.
not. We trust your opinion, and you're very respectful of people. Like I've never seen you be unfair. So I trust whatever you're saying is as close to the truth as you can get through someone else's eyes. You know, you always see it for yourself, but I think it's as close to, I trust your commentary. I
Well,
will
thank
say
you.
this. Do you think there's truth to this? Where Princess Di said, do you think she was acting like someone that knows they lost the case, or do you think it was something more?
I would say so, yes. And I'm gonna say another thing because they parked beside one of the investigative reporters' car, and Tasha K, her attorneys, and her husband got in a black. I'm not gonna say what it is, but I tell you, Tisa, later, okay?
Okay.
And it was like she was defeated. I'm just gonna be honest. When she was
Oh,
getting in the
wow.
vehicle to leave, and it's not to bash her, but it was like she was defeated. It's not the vibrant young lady that we see on her channel.
Okay, now Mr. MRJ Jackson says she didn't have any time, she didn't have any wine to sip on to control her emotions and anxiety. What do you think about that statement?
That um allegedly that yes. Allegedly yes to that.
Oh, okay. Merkaba says, did you detect drug use? Do you think
No.
that she was okay? So you
She's
don't think
not
it was
on.
any
I can tell she doesn't do drugs. No. She looks good. She doesn't do drugs.
okay. Yeah, Tasha K is a pretty woman. She
Yeah.
really is. Like
She
everybody's
doesn't
joking
do
with
drugs. She looks good. Her
her.
hair
Okay.
was laid, her clothes was right. No,
Okay.
no drugs. I'm not gonna allow on the girl.
Okay. So Tide Spring said, She's acting. Have you seen the interviews? All part of a plan to get people to support the underdog. Cardi looks like a big fish with her $250 psychiatrist.
Because I know they get the $250 is $250 an hour that the therapist charge.
So it was a therapist, not a psychiatrist, just a therapist?
It's a therapist.
Did they make any mention with Cardi's doctor that they had put her on any type of antidepressants, any type of medicine to treat her
if I'm not mistaken, I do not think they did. But if they did, I don't want to be saying something I don't quite remember. But I don't think so. Okay. You can be suicidal and not take anything.
Okay. No, I just want to know. Like, again, like I tell everyone, I don't have a dog in a fight. I'm not pro or anti either one. To me, it's just fascinating because I like drama. I like to see it today. And y'all must too, because y'all here too. So let's get into it, right? But I do like to see things play out. And sometimes to me, it's like sports. I don't care who wins. I'm enjoying this game, right? Yeah. But I hope whoever is the lawfully wrong does win. Do you see what I'm saying? I hope justice prevails either way. Now, here's the thing I wanted to ask you. So before you came on, I was talking about the fact that they were questioning Cardi's doctor, this, that, and the third. Do you remember them at Tasha K's lawyers questioning Cardi B's doctor and asking, do you think there was other stuff going on in her life that might have led to her depression? Again, I'm not saying that Tasha K.
They may have asked that, but I don't think it was. I think that wasn't a factor in it.
What do you mean by you don't think it's a factor?
I think there was a no to that.
A no to them asking.
There wasn't anything else going on in Cardi's life to make her want to do that.
So her defense team didn't bring, and again, I'm not saying that Tasha didn't force this woman to feel like she didn't want to be on this earth anymore. And if that's actually what happened, Tasha deserves the answer for that. But what I'm saying is, if I was a defense attorney and you weren't on, so I just repeat it, my questions would have been, so you're saying that I'm the reason that you don't want to touch your husband? Did your husband publicly cheating on you and humiliating you several times, and also you filing for divorce 2 times have to do with anything with your not wanting your husband to touch you?
They didn't talk about that.
See, but I would have, because at the end of the day, and that's what I mean about her defense attorneys. We're going to talk about it in a second. Listen, let me tell y'all something. If I am facing losing everything, either my freedom or what's in my bank account, you best believe I am coming out of that corner swinging metaphorically. I will hire pit bulls, Rottweilers, Godzilla,
Tasha
and
don't have that. She does not have pit bulls and Rottweilers. Her attorney,
I would hire.
Not good.
No, I would hire people to literally go in there and destroy the whole court, because I'm fighting for myself and my life. I don't care if all y'all say, Tisa, you're guilty. Guess what? I ain't laying down for this one. I'm going to war. So that's why it's so surprising to me that her defense team seems to be acting like they're winning and that they can afford to just let things coax. Like, I would have been there like, are you going to say something? Like, I would have been throwing the kitchen sink until the judge is like, that's enough. Okay, let me throw some more stuff.
Her team is not fighters. I'm going to be honest. They are not fighters.
Tell me your impression of her team.
She need a new team.
Why do you say that?
Because they're not fighting for her. To me, they don't know what they're doing. I'm just being honest. They don't know what they're doing. They're not fighting for her, and it's sad.
So when you say they don't know what they're doing, give me, if you can remember, an example maybe of where you're like, oh, you guys dropped the ball. What are you doing?
They were presenting things. Hold on. Somebody's YouTube keep popping up. They were presenting things that were not on the list for the pre-trial stuff, evidence. You can't do that.
For anybody, just to interrupt
you. It would have helped Cardi more than it would have helped Tasha.
Okay, so I'm going to explore that. But just to bring listen, if you guys know all this, great for you. You're the smartest person in the class. I'm saying this to the person on replay that might not know. When she says that they were bringing up things in pre-trial, when you go to court, right? you put in your suit, somebody answers, maybe it gets dismissed. If it doesn't get dismissed, the judge sets a pretrial conference. The pretrial conference tells you this is what's happening. March 1st, we sitting down and we're going to make a calendar for when discovery is going to be done, when the motions will be done, when you'll do this. We'll put a deadline that if you guys are going to settle, you have to make that decision that you're going to go outside and settle before. So basically the trial proceeds on time. That's the way you make sure that under the constitutional rights, you have a speedy and expeditious trial within reason. You must have a calendar so you know when it's going to end. One of the things when you're in pretrial is discovery. During discovery, it's where both people have to show the cards. You have to show, listen, I got this witness, I got this, I got this, I got this. You must show their people their cards. So when you go to court, there can't be any surprise evidence, right? Because whether you're the plaintiff or the defense, you need time to look at the evidence and be like, damn, what am I going to do for this? It might be good, but you need time to plan how it's going to help your case. It might be horrible. You need time to be like, damn, they got the gun. Ooh, how am I going to get around this? You just need time. That's why you can't have any surprises. I think what you're saying, Lillie, is what you did a great job of saying. They were trying to present evidence that was not discussed during the pretrial and was not presented during discovery. So in all things, they were trying to put extraneous information to sway the jury, but nobody knew if it was true. So it had to be stricken from the record. Is that what happened?
What they did, because her attorneys kept saying, well, we got it. We got to find the number to it, to the video and this and that. And then it was like, well, the plaintiff, her attorneys have it, but the plaintiff's attorneys is not their job to help your case.
Oh, wait. So you're saying that the defense was in so much shambles that they were like, hold on.
He was even asking the judge to help. And the judge was like, this is your job. It's not my job to get your stuff together.
Okay, so I got to just roll back because this is incredible. You're saying that there were times in the case where they were like, hold on, this video is going to prove what we're saying, right? And then they turned to their adversary and said, do you know the name of that video? Can you help me find it? And then they turned to the judge and said, but wait, can you tell me what the name is? They didn't even have all their evidence in a row.
It was a mess. And I'm being honest. They were not benefiting Tasha K at all.
Okay. So they weren't benefiting. Did they ask a lot of questions to Cardi B's doctor? Were they really wringing what they could out of the witnesses?
Well, Cardi hadn't been on the stand today. They was asking Tasha K in the therapist questions, but not Cardi B. It's just that even the stuff they was asking Tasha K benefit Cardi.
What do you mean by that?
Her attorneys, anything they was pretty much asking their own client benefit Cardi. It wasn't helping Tasha K. Wow. It's almost like they there to help Tasha K. They there to help Cardi.
Because here's the thing. When you say that, so many images run through my mind. Give us an example if you can remember one of when they did something that
it was like, so much going on. Let me think. Okay, like Tasha K, she was just rumbling about things, and she started talking about Black China, and it had nothing to do with it. And they showed the video of Tasha K interviewing Storm Marie. In the video, to me, it helped Cardi's case. It didn't help Tasha. Remember, she interviewed the girl, but that was Tasha's attorneys showing the stuff. Remember Tasha K interviewed Storm Marie.
I remember. For those of you guys that don't know
about Cardi, Storm Marie actually is helping Cardi.
Okay, and for those of you guys that don't know, Storm Marie is actually one of the people that started it all. She's the one that went on Tasha K's, got interviewed by Tasha K. She was not a friend of Cardi B, but they worked together in the strip club, and they had a friendly relationship. But Storm Marie went on and said all this stuff about Tasha K on there. And, hey, Mel NYC, you said, dang, who Tasha hired? Cousin Vinny without Marissa Tomei. But the Storm Marie thing is so central. to this, because everybody's saying this is going to change the face of YouTube. No, it's not. I know you guys don't want to hear this. It is not illegal to say things about people that they don't like, right? You can state your opinion. However, the thing with this case is, it is literally, somebody said, how come Wendy Williams was never sued? The sad thing is, had Tasha K, or maybe it's a good thing, I don't know, maybe this is justice, had Tasha K never had that audio where she was trying to get Lovely T, it's T, Lovely T.
T.
Thank you. And how they would never get Lovely T to, and I watch her too. Why don't I know how to pronounce her name? Lovely T to actually admit to something she still swears she did not do, and she is not on trial, so she did not do it. Cardi wouldn't really have a leg to stand on. Tasha K, where Cardi is trying to sue her is it's a pro se, not a per se, per se liable suit. It's one of the highest measures that you can burden of proof you must reach as a public figure. Public figure, the threshold is so high. Private figure, it's much lower. Cardi B's team had a very, very high burden of proof. And from what I saw, the evidence, they would not have made it except for the fact that Tasha K pretty much goddamn confessed to doing the crime. And then the hardest part to prove is malicious. You must prove you are trying to do harm to someone. And they have Tasha K on video laughing, saying, yeah, I know 70% of what Star Marie said was not true. I know that girl's probably crazy and mentally ill. I'm paraphrasing. But guess what? Tasha got money. She can pay for psychiatrists. That is why Tasha K is set to lose everything, because she literally confessed to the crime. Without that, and this is just my opinion, right? Go, talk to, there are lawyers on YouTube, right? That you can listen to the things. But in my opinion, the case wasn't that strong without that confession. But now you have the confession, you got all you need, Thank you so much, Dee, for the super chat. I appreciate that. So when you're saying that, let's get back to the point. I just want to explain that to everyone. When you're saying that Star Marie, there was evidence about Star Marie that the judge was like, this helps Cardi B. Why are you bringing this out? What was that evidence?
Well, with that video, the judge didn't really say that's not the video that wasn't the video. But the point is, with that video, it was more like it's helping Cardi. But when he went to her own attorney went to question her, but it's hard to explain. It just didn't benefit Tasha K.
Okay, well, I know it's hard to explain. And, I'm not asking you for specifics, but if you had to guess, why do you think the judge was saying this doesn't really benefit you?
Because it was, let me tell you what her attorney was doing, and she was doing in the interview with Star Marie. Okay. You can't lead people with, how do you say it?
No, you can't ask leading questions.
Yes, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. And I myself, from watching Tasha K, I have heard her say things about Cardi B. I'm just going to be honest.
Okay.
Because I used to watch her a lot. So to me, it's a tough situation. I'm going to be honest. And that video with Star Marie, I don't think it benefited her.
And the video of Star Marie, she actually showed the video that she put on her YouTube channel. This wasn't a separate.
They showed it. Okay. The actual video. We watched it during the trial.
What was how in that video? Because refresh our memory. How was Star Marie acting in that video? Did she seem like she was on something? Did she seem mentally ill?
I'm gonna be honest. No, she does not appear to be on anything in that video at all. I don't even know this girl, but no, she wasn't on anything. I don't know her personally, but from what I've seen in the video, the girl wasn't high.
Okay. Okay. So do you think that why do you think that Tasha K did not include Star Marie in this lawsuit? If Star Marie was the one that
she's getting sued too by Cardi.
As a co-defendant or in a different case?
It's a whole different case.
Really?
That's what I heard. She's getting sued.
That's odd, because usually in legal proceedings, and again, I'm not Matlock.
Allegedly. That's what I was told.
Allegedly.
She's suing Star Marie too.
usually in legal cases, especially when the defendants are so closely bound by a nexus, an event that started this whole like supernova, usually they'll actually maybe even combine cases, or the plaintiffs will bring both people as co-defendants, because the what you guys both did together started all of this. And also, if I bring you in as co-defendants, it gives you a chance for you guys to fight among yourselves, because you're so busy proving it's not me, it's not me, it's not me. It makes my case to prove even easier. So it's
I'm gonna
odd.
tell you why I think it's separate.
Let
Because
me
a
know.
lot of things Tasha K did, she did it by herself. Star Marie wasn't around. Like some
Okay.
posts she would do on Instagram and stuff like that. I've seen videos. That girl was not around. Star Marie was not around. So that's probably why it's separate.
No,
That's
see,
just that one interview of Star Marie. And I think also because of Star Marie had posted her own stuff on Instagram and it went viral about Cardi. And that's why Tasha K interviewed her. So it's separate.
okay, so that's you know what? That's actually a great point, and there it goes to show. Sometimes the easiest answer is the easiest answer, right? Again, I think it's important to note Star Marie was all over the thing, internet. She gave interviews to Tasha K. Had Tasha K not had they not have evidence showing that one, Tasha K knew that Star Marie was either lying or was unknowingly telling lies, had they had no proof that Star Marie might have been mentally ill, and had she not said that she knew that Cardi was being affected, harmed, and she did not care, and she can afford the therapy is what she gets, I'm paraphrasing, they would have no case, because all Tasha K did was bring somebody on. And listen, I'm not saying this is what she did in real life. This is what her defense attorney should have been arguing. My client, she interviews people. She bought this girl on. The girl's story touched her heart. She believed what she said was true. And after it left, she kept on doing commentary about what she thought was a great injustice. This should have been Tasha K's defense. However, her lawyers were like, aha, and they hit play. And it was Tasha being like, yeah. And Cardi B, I'm paraphrasing. I don't know if Tasha actually was talking like that, but you know what I'm saying. Again, woo, I wonder if Tasha K's laying in bed being like, damn, audio. You know, you think sometimes, and Lillie, I mean, I've been there before when, I mean, I've never been in court or something like this, but when you make a big misstep and everything starts crumbling down and you're like, damn, why did I answer the phone, or why did I do that? Because so much shit, and you just sit there in bed like, all I had to do was just not answer the phone. That's all I had to do. So I don't know. Tasha might be laying in bed every night thinking that, like, damn, damn, damn. And it's ironic. The tape she made was to try. Now, this is alleged. I don't know. But it's ironic that people have been saying that the tape she made was an effort to try to loop Lovely T into the shenanigans. And that's why this tape was even made. However, Lovely T was able to extract herself from it, and it just let Tasha on an island of guilt by herself, you know?
But I will say, I've never heard Lovely T say anything about Cardi. Because I watched her too.
Yeah.
I've never heard her say anything bad about Cardi.
Yes. Now, here's the thing. When you're speaking lies over someone's life, it is a strong boomerang effect back to you. I guess, and you know what? That's true. That's true. I mean, what is it? What is it? Like, you look at people's faces and you're just like, this is the effect of boomerang coming back to you. That stress and that karma shows in lines. It shows in stress. However, I think this is deeper for than speaking lies over someone's name. This is, again, a clear cut who said this? Cuddy Butterfly said, y'all don't need to repeat stuff if you don't know if it's true, completely true. Could be twisting Tasha's words. Nobody's twisting this. You can go listen. This is public record. You guys can go get the court transcript. And yes, this is a show. I'm not going to read a court transcript. We are paraphrasing, but the intent of what it is there. Again, you guys, I want you guys to know in the comments, this is not about whether Tasha is guilty or innocent. It's not about whether Cardi's faking or if she's telling the truth. This is literally about the case that's being presented, because you guys are missing the big story about how her defense is dropping the ball. That's the real story. She is literally getting her face tap danced on daily by Cardi B's team. And the sad part
Cardi
is,
got a strong team. I'm being honest. Her team is amazing.
yes, and the sad part is, if Tasha is telling the truth, it don't matter, because her team is wiping the floor of you. And the court of law is often not who's telling the truth, and who has the best team and who is the most convincing to a jury within reason. Now, I want to move on to a few things, right? Let's see. Okay, let's see. No, Lovely T was invited as a guest to Cardi B. She likes Cardi. No, I don't. You guys, I never said that Lovely T wasn't. I said that from what I understand, right? Tasha K taped a conversation with Lovely T, where to me, it seemed like she was trying to pull Lovely T in to make it seem like they devised a plot, for lack of better words. I am paraphrasing, y'all. A plot, for better words. And Lovely T, when she got wind of it, separated herself and said, that don't got nothing to do with me. And this is the recording that they are actually using to establish Tasha K admitting guilt. And if this is going to be proven, again, I would be laying in my bed like, damn. That one thing. You guys, really quick, we have 1,660 people in the chat. We only probably have, knowing y'all, 39 likes. Can y'all please hit the like button, the subscribe button? Oh, also, we're going to be doing daily trial coverage every day until it's over at 8:30 p.m. Lillie, of course, you're invited back tomorrow. We're also going to have a special treat of Just Jonda. She is actually a defense attorney. So it will be nice to get her impression as an attorney to dive in deeper of all the ways that Tasha K's team is helping or failing her. And we're going to also have Lillie, of course, if Lillie come back, where she's going to, thank you, where you're actually going to give coverage of what you saw and heard. And I think with Just Jonda, because she is a defense attorney, a very accomplished defense attorney, we're really going to see like, okay, so this is what Lillie's impression was, and then this is how the defense dropped the ball. And that way we can get it, like something between, and then me being messy, giving my opinion, we can get a trifecta going. Now, here's the thing. How did the doctor act? And I'm very interested in this. If you can remember the time, how did the doctor act when she was cross-examined and pointed out that in none of her notes mentioned anything about Cardi B not wanting to be on this earth anymore? Did the doctor seem like nervous, taken aback? Like, no, how did that land?
I'm gonna be honest, that doctor was not nervous. She stayed professional the whole time. She wasn't nervous. And you're right about what you said about that wasn't in the notes that they showed us. But she never appeared nervous at all. Never.
Okay, she didn't appear nervous. I know that there were reports that Lovely T actually got bought up in court. How was she bought up?
I was actually late. Remember, I told you I missed that part. I missed that.
It's fine. You did enough even being there. You don't gotta apologize. Let's move to the next question, right? Now, let's see. This is something you said that the judge seemed annoyed at Tasha K. How did you know the judge was annoyed? What was his general demeanor?
I can understand why, because I was. I'm going to be honest. He didn't say he was. I can't say he said he was, but his face looked flustered red. Because I'm going to be honest, the today reminded me of Portia Williams' book. It drove me crazy.
How to remind you of the book?
Because Tasha K kept doing things that I felt she shouldn't do, and it probably frustrated him. I'm going to be honest. He looked like he was like, everybody, I'm just being honest with you. I want her to be okay, but everybody was frustrated with Tasha K. Everybody. And the jury didn't say anything, but they looked aggravated.
Did they? Do you think that Tasha, because judging by what I heard last week and reading articles at Law 360 and this and that, it seemed to me that Tasha had trouble being vulnerable. Now, I made jokes about if I was on trial, I'm about to lose everything, I would be falling out. I would have my Bill Cosby, I can't see glasses on. I would come in a wheelchair and a walker at the same time. Don't ask me how I'm going to do it, but it would happen at the same time, right? I would be putting on shows, theatrics.
She needs to be vulnerable.
But here's the thing. I was saying that to be funny, but my real point in saying that was when you're on trial, you have a limited amount of time to let the jury see you as human. It's important for them to see you as human because humans make mistakes. We have people we love. We have friends. We extend grace to people that we like. That's just the way it is. If somebody don't like you, don't expect any grace. But when somebody likes you and or even better loves you, they extend you all the grace and they want to see you win even when you mess up, right? Even when you mess up. So my question is, it seemed puzzling last week that Tasha K was very stoic when I said, this is the time, you have a limited amount of time, you have to show them who you are. If something hurts you, say it hurts you. If something makes you happy, show them that smile. If something is like, that's not fair, let your face register that. Was Tasha K very expressive? Do you think that the jury got a better feeling of who she was? I'm just going to turn the camera off for one quick second.
I think they got them. Okay.
Keep talking. I'm sorry.
I think they got a better feeling of her when she first got up there, even though she was all over the place, but she did say she was nervous. So it helps people to soften for you, if it makes any sense. So that helped her a little bit. But I'm gonna be honest, she doesn't know how to be vulnerable at all, Tisa. Somebody needs to tell her she needs to be vulnerable because she's not getting any sympathy from anybody because she's so cold.
I hate to bring this up,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't even know if I should, but I'll do it anyway, right? I often find that sometimes people that look a certain way are not extended the same grace that other people are extended.
I don't think that's that in this trial because he extended the situation for them to find the actual number for the video and show. That's why we got out of there at 3:30. He gave them grace, Tasha's attorneys. That's why we got out of there because he given them time to put everything together properly. So if they want to be presented, he may consider it. He didn't have to do that.
Okay, so let me just rephrase that.
He's extending grace, trust me.
Well, the judge might be, but I find sometimes when it comes to juries.
But that does happen by her being a darker woman. Yes, that does happen.
Yeah, I mean, again, I don't know if this is the case.
But I don't think this is the situation. I'm being honest with you. I don't think it's the situation. But since you brought that up, I'm gonna pay close attention tomorrow, okay? Yeah, I give my honest opinion.
Yeah, I'm not saying that is the case, but I do know from living in America and the court system and the jury system, that is a question that if someone does not either ask or make a game plan to counteract it, I feel like you are a fool and you are living in dreamland. I feel like when we walk in, people take impressions of us and they treat us accordingly. Yeah. And it saddens me that, and this is where I think her defense dropped the ball, that in a country that is shown time and time again that when women who are melanated, I mean, doctors don't believe that they get less pain medication when they deliver, when we deliver babies. The dentist gives us, like, they believe, doctors honestly believe that our skin can take more pain than our paler counterparts. So it really saddens me, and I'm trying to be very PC about it, right? Because I don't want to make accusations, but it's something that needs to be addressed. It saddens me that her lawyers do not seem to realize that off the bat in America, sometimes when you walk into certain rooms, and I don't know what that jury looks like, you already have an attitude. You already, what's her problem? She thinks she's cute. Who does she think she is? People are already thinking that when you walk in the room just from being stoic. So sometimes when you look a certain way, you have to soften it even more because they already don't see you as somebody that needs to be protected or nurtured. I think that her attorneys miss that, you know? I think her attorneys missed that. And I think, again, what's the makeup of the jury? The racial makeup.
It's mixed of people.
Okay.
But
Is
think
it
I saw, I'm
predominantly?
gonna be honest, and I hope this
Yeah.
don't affect me when I go back tomorrow. I saw one black person. They
Okay.
didn't tell us we couldn't say it. He
No,
was
but
a
here's the
darker
thing.
skinned person.
Okay, and that's great. I'm glad there was one person, but
But it was
again,
Hispanic, white, and black, but more white. I will be
okay.
honest. And I pray to God it doesn't affect me going back
No,
tomorrow.
but listen, we're not saying anything about the jury. Sadly enough, that is the way most juries work. KB, thank you so much for the super chat. You said yes, teacher, even if it's unconscious. But I will say that on that aspect, and again, you guys can argue with me in the comments. We have seen it time and time again. You guys are fools if you are denying that you walk into rooms and people have preconceived conceptions of who you are. This is why people buy designer stuff. Because people that are obsessed with image, if they got that bag, when you walk in the room, people are like, oh, I need to treat you with respect because you must got money. Because look at the way that, yeah, people like designer stuff, but people that are label obsessed, that's why they're label obsessed. We are a people. So again, it saddens me. And to be politically correct, I really feel like her team dropped the ball where it seems like, because from what I see with her team is not melanated. And it seems like her team, yeah, and it seems like her team missed the punch where you were already walking into a jury that if statistics, right? If statistics can be counted, 1/3 of them already have a negative connotation of who you are before you even open your mouth and before you even say, I am Tasha K. So yeah, I don't know. That's pretty interesting. Doesn't mean that it's not going to be a fair trial. Doesn't mean, but again,
I'm going to say this. It doesn't help. She's not vulnerable. You're already up there looking hard and you're not vulnerable and you know the statistics. She's not helping herself. And I cannot blame the jurors. I can't. She's making it hard on herself. And I blame her team because they did not tell her to be softer.
Yeah. It's important. I hope none of you guys ever have to be in this situation. But again, the jury has a limited amount of time to like you, to want to be your friend. And it sounds like from what I heard in the coverage, Cardi B, it might be her natural personality, or maybe she's just not stupid, right? It's like saying,
I'm going to say she's not stupid. She know how to make people like her.
Tell me that. That's what I'm saying. When you're saying she knows how to make people like her, how does she come across as likable?
She'll compliment you. So she honestly, she's doing the right thing. Tasha just stoic, cold.
Yeah.
When I went in the bathroom, she was in the bathroom. She didn't see me, but I saw her and I went on in the bathroom. You know what I mean? Her husband was standing outside the bathroom door. He's nice and friendly. She has a handsome husband. I'm going to be honest. He looked better in person. When she showed him, she got a nice looking husband. When she showed him on the show, you don't really get, you know what I mean? She has a handsome husband. He was standing outside the bathroom door because I went in there after she went in there. His energy is different from her energy. Her energy is masculine. He's not feminine at all, but he has a softer energy. I'm just being honest.
He has a more warm. Some people's energy.
He's welcoming.
He's very welcoming.
Talk to me, but I felt his energy. He smiles. He doesn't act hard. She acts hard.
Okay. AA says, Tisa, can you ask Lillie, what should Tasha K's team suggest for her to be more likable? From what you saw, what do you think Tasha could do to actually come across as more likable, more? And it's not like you need to be likable because you need to be human. And I know you guys are ripping me apart in the comments, to which I say about what I said about she might be treated differently because of unconscious bias, to which I say, I don't give a damn. Grow up. This is not Sesame Street. We know the country we live in, and we are not debating.
I don't see that in this situation. I'm going to pay attention. No, because you're going to make me pay attention tomorrow. I was paying attention, but I'm really going to pay attention.
Yeah, just pay attention to what's going on. Now, again, and part of the reason is when I hear that, and again, I'm not defending Tasha. I don't care. I mean, I care. I hope nobody is justice has prevailed. But when you talk about the judge and so many people being frustrated with her,
now he didn't say it, but I could tell. I was
okay.
frustrated with her. I'm being honest. Everybody was.
Okay.
Everybody.
Okay. And I want to thank V Lenore. Thank you, V Lenore, kissy face, for the super chat. She says, don't assume that Tasha's attorneys haven't advised her properly. She's likely being hard-headed. Tasha should have been vulnerable and remorseful. What do you think about that? That's an interesting point.
Ain't nobody gonna tell me to be vulnerable. I'm gonna do it. If it's gonna save my A, I'm going to do it. It's like, I'm telling you, it's like either she thinks she got it in her bag, or she just I lost already.
You know what though? If she felt like, but here's the one thing where I keep saying we gotta wait for Tasha's defense. There might be an H in the thing, because to me,
I don't see
nothing like someone that's like, I don't gotta be friendly because I got what I need. I feel like if
you know what it is? It's almost like Portia Williams' personality. I'm gonna be honest.
What you mean?
You know how Portia don't see no wrong, or she's done no wrong? That's what I sense.
Oh.
I'm telling you, the way Portia book make your nerves bad because it's all over the place, that's how the trial was today.
Oh, wow.
She's sitting up there being pretty but cold. It's being pretty and looking cold is not going to help you.
Yeah, I get that. You know what? So maybe there is something to what V Lenore acts, where it's like, maybe she's being hard-headed. Maybe she's like, I don't got to do this. I don't got to do this. I
don't know what her attorneys have told her, but to me, they're not doing good. I'm just being honest.
Now, I will say, if I was losing, I would think that Tasha K would be very, very sad. Like, when you know you're losing, I would just be defeated, you know? Well, no, I'd probably be kicked out. My Achilles heel is, even when I get sad, I start telling more jokes and being like, I start being funny. Cause I'm like, if I'm going to hell, I'm going to go laughing. I don't care. We're going to tell jokes about who's being barbecued. I'm not, it's like, ain't nothing else to do but laugh, and they can't take the laughter away from us. So
and that will actually win people over. If she does what you're saying, it will win people over, believe it or not. Having some sense of humor, a little bit, something, you know what I mean? It will win people over.
Okay, so let me ask you this. How long, Esther? I know you weren't watching the clock, right? I think they took away everything.
I was watching the clock because I was tired.
Lillie was like, I'm hungry. I'm gonna go get. Anybody's ever been in court? There's first you're interested, but then there's that point where everything starts moving around. Like, you start imagining what you're gonna get after you eat, like what you're gonna eat after you leave. You're just like, I'm hungry. I'm ready to go. You start imagining the nap you're gonna take, the TV show you're gonna watch. It gets long. When Tasha, how did it end? Where did it end?
It ended by the judge saying he's giving them. He didn't have to say it. We knew he was giving them grace, because he could have just said, no, we're not even going to look over it. We're not thinking about it, because it was not on the list of the evidence for pretrial. So he's given Tasha K's attorneys grace. He's giving them a chance to get everything together and present it tomorrow to see if it, you know what I mean? He's giving them grace.
Okay, so you know what?
Even though he looked aggravated, he's giving them grace. That's why I am not gonna say is they are against her. The judge isn't.
I don't listen.
The jury. No, I'm not saying you said it. But I'm saying it's not that kind of situation. I'm telling you, it's not. Because if it was, he would not be giving them grace.
Okay, so Leave It Out UK says she admitted it. What ace are you waiting for? Excuse me. If anybody knows the American legal system, people have been on tape with gloves that may or may not fit. People have done heinous things. DuPont, the heir to the DuPont fortune, was on trial for murder. They had all the evidence. His best friend testified against him and said, I think that he actually did it. And she gave evidence. He got off because of his money and power with all the smoking gun evidence. 2 months after he got off, he got arrested for murdering his best friend that testified against him.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. But guess what? He didn't go to jail. He went to a mental hospital that was basically like a home away from home. So again, I want to just clear something up when they say about justice. In America, it's not the right to a fair trial. It's the opportunity to have a fair trial. Your money and your privilege and how you look and what people think of you and your societal ranking 100% play a part in the justice will be served. Justice in America is not blind. Now, granted, they try to be fair, but the little handkerchief around her eyes is peeking up, and she's trying to see justice is not blind. And again, unfortunately, from our history in this country, our current history of the way different perceptions change the way, it's a question we have to ask. Now, if it's not the case, I'm happy, but I think we would be reticent not to ask this question. There's no point in you guys, we don't got to stick our heads in the ground. The truth is not going to kill us. The truth will set us free. Asking a question and testing the truth ain't never changed anything because the truth comes back stronger. So ask the questions because that's how you find the truth. Not sitting there being like, oh, how dare you? How dare what? If the truth is the truth. That's like me asking Lillie, do you got black hair? I don't know if it looks purple. And Lillie's like, girl, it's black. What you talking about? Ba, 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 ba. Did that change the color of her hair? No, it was asking the question and the truth came back faster. So again, that's just the way I do things. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion, but a question ain't never hurt anybody telling the truth, right? Listen, Madison Clark, thank you so much for the super chat. Said her lawyers didn't prepare her because they were being paid by Cardi's lawyers. Madison, you're so messy. Now that would be a plot twist. That would be a plot twist. And you know what? We all know that's not happening. At least I hope not. But Cardi is a Libra, and that's something a Libra would do. Just plot twist, like just plot twist, right? Tell me about when all that was going on. Could you see Cardi B's body language? And when the doctor was being questioned, could you see Tasha K's body language? What did that tell you?
Tasha K was sitting kind of sideways, like, okay, whatever. That's how I took it.
She was sitting like she had her legs crossed, really sitting like this.
She was sitting a little sideways, and her husband was he was sitting behind her, but she was sitting at the table with her two attorneys.
So was she sitting sideways like the way I'm sitting sideways?
Kind of like that, yeah.
Oh, Lord. What is wrong? Why didn't her
You're supposed to sit straight up.
Listen, it's like me. I am chronically late. Not as a sign of disrespect, but again, I believe I have a disability when it comes to listen, everybody in my family laughs about it. They like, oh, you lying one day. And for all my people that are chronically late, not out of disrespect, but you really cannot estimate time. People got to tell you 5 minutes feels like 5 hours. 5 hours feels like 15 minutes. One day this disability will be recognized. And y'all, I'm not being funny. One day, hopefully my children will live in a country where you can I'm being serious. My chronically late people, y'all know what I'm talking about. But listen, even I am chronically late, right? Now, I might have to get up 4 hours early and get somebody to stay on top of me like they are my mommy, but they will somehow get me to work on time because for the first 90 days, I got to be like, hi, everybody. Yes, I love showing up on time, right? How did Tasha K be like, girl, this is like, there are people you can pay to prep you. Olivia Pope was actually based on a real person. There are people that you can pay to prep you for court. They have their own mock courtroom, how to sit, how to talk. They pretend they are the cross-examination. They pretend they are the judge, and they literally train you that when you go to court, you can act appropriately. How come Tasha K didn't get that?
That's what I'm telling you. I don't think they're benefiting, old girl.
Well, Maxalia Sir, thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you, Nitra. We are sisters. People think that being late is disrespect, and they have no idea. It literally is a disability. But one day, hopefully, it will be recognized. And I'm not being funny, y'all. Y'all can drag me all you want. One day, it's going to be recognized. One day, it's going to be recognized.
Excuse. I got a disability.
Yes. No, listen. Okay, so a couple of things, and then I'll let you go because I know it's getting late, Lillie, but we appreciate you so much. And you guys, don't forget, today was kind of not slow, but it's the beginning, right? Tomorrow, the wheels are going to come off. The wheels are going to come off tomorrow, and we're going to have Lillie here because she is going to be our live representative. And we are also at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we are also going to have Jess Jonda with us that is going to give her, I was talking to her about it, her in-depth opinion. She is a Black woman about what is going on and how Tasha K's attorneys are dropping the ball, how Tasha K is messing up, and even the slick stuff that Cardi B's team is pulling. And by slick, I mean ingenious. Because if you're in court, if you are not throwing everything you can at the situation to get your point across, what are you really doing? That's the time to be slick. That's the time to be like, ooh, what ham am I holding the dollar in? LA said, love you, Tisa. Hey, Lillie. She's also Lillie too. She said, first it was Wendy, now Tasha. God, please play Karma for working overtime. She needs a raid. Tisa interviewed TK. Tasha K ain't coming on my channel, or will she? I don't know.
You may.
Oh, and Ice Princess said Tasha bought a knife to a gunfight. Yeah. Again, Lillie, do you think that Tasha K has a chance to turn it around? I know that you were there in the courtroom with people. You talked to people. Do people see this being turned around, or is this the end is nigh?
I'm gonna say I'm gonna pray for Tasha K, but I don't see it turning around. I'm being honest. I don't.
Wow.
See,
No. Wow.
unless a miracle happen and she gets some saints over there with holy oil and holy water. I'm gonna tell you something. If I was, I'd be praying, calling somebody to pray for me or something. And then when I get in that tomorrow, I'm gonna be so vulnerable. I would be. I would
Yeah.
make them love me.
Yeah. Or at least show like I'm a human. If
Yeah,
you take away everything I work for, it will destroy me.
I
I
have
have family.
children. Yeah,
Yeah. Yes. Elaine, thank you so much for
I
the
have.
super chat.
Cause
No,
Tasha has a baby just like Cardi. You know what I mean? So I would use something. I mean, it's like I don't get it. I'm being
no,
honest. I don't.
here's the thing. I don't know if you guys have been following it, but Cardi B, this is the whole thing of maybe pride goes before the fall. Cardi B reached out to Tasha K and said, hey, can you remove this?
Several
Tasha,
times
several
herself.
times. She sent a letter. Tasha K said, come on my show and I'll remove it. Cardi B said, hell no, I'm not coming on your show. Just remove it. Tasha K refused to. She filed a countersuit. I think for whatever reason, she thought she was going to win her countersuit. Again, Tasha might be hard headed, but it sounds like she's getting bad legal advice. That countersuit was dismissed. At that time, Tasha tried to settle. Prior to that, Cardi tried to settle with the countersuit. Tasha tried to settle, and now they're just like, no, we're not settling because you lost your countersuit, so most likely we're going to win. So literally, I don't know. I don't know. This could literally, again, for y'all saying that Tasha K maybe has 1 million. I am on YouTube. I know what ad revenue look like. And I am telling you, Tasha K is bringing in at least $1 million a year on her YouTube
Well, she
revenue.
need to get some new attorneys if she bring in that kind of money.
Well, that's a surprising thing because they know way between her YouTube revenue and her paid sponsorships, YouTube ad revenue alone, because they literally let us know how much you get per 1,000 views, right? Tasha K is a big fish, so she gets way. I'm telling you, Tasha K is at least bringing in $12 million a year on YouTube. Asking a YouTuber and the ad revenue, and that's conservative. Y'all think there's no money on YouTube, and sometimes it's not. But for those big people, Duke, Cooey Pie, Mr. Beast, look at how much they made. A kid made 68 million. Literally, look at his views and literally look at Tasha K's views. And then tell me that woman ain't at least making $1 million a month on ad revenue. Yeah.
$1 million a month?
Yeah, no, 1 million. Tasha K is at least pulling in $12 million a year.
Okay.
You cannot tell me. Tasha, the revenue that she gets per play, because YouTube does your CPM, which lets you know how much money you make per 1,000 views. I know what I make. I know what a few other YouTubers make, right?
Mm-hmm.
I am telling you guys, even on a conservative approach, she's making at least $1 million a month based off of her view ad revenue. Again, compare the biggest YouTubers, Ryan, the little kid that does toys, Kui Dai, Mr. Beast. Look at the views on their videos. They've actually posted in Business Insider how much money they make a year. I think the one person that made 300 million off of YouTube, and then compare their views to Tasha K's, and you can get an estimate of how much she's probably making within, a little margin of error. She ain't making less than 10 million a year off of ad revenue. Tasha K is making money. So it surprises me that she didn't get, and honestly, even if y'all saying Tasha K only makes $1 million a year, which is category 5, it's just not possible. Even in, that's what you take your whole paycheck and dump it into. Should we get these lawyers from 1-800-LEGAL-ZOOM? No shade to anybody that's on 1-800-LEGAL-ZOOM they'll do the whole case for $200,000, or should we invest everything we have into getting the best legal counsel, because everything we have could be destroyed in a blink of an eye. So I don't know. We all make our choices. Again, you want to save money now and pay out of it triple fold later, or do you want to pay what you can as much as you can? Cardi B did, so yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Okay, so you guys, listen, Lillie, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, you guys, listen. Lillie, she does great commentary. She does cooking on YouTube. I'm not YouTube, Instagram. Her channels are really fun. You see Lillie, she's dropped it gorgeous, super informative. Her links to her Instagram and her YouTube are in the box. Please go give her a follow. And don't forget, today was a little bit slow. I'm not going to lie. It was a little slow in the fact was Cardi B's counsel was resting and the defense was trying. But I understand from a defense point of view, you're not going to come guns blazing and then you got to leave in 2 hours. You're going to wait until you have the whole day, which is tomorrow. So you guys, tomorrow is going to be a huge day in the courts. We are going to be here at 8:30 p.m. every single day until this trial's over. But I'm telling you, the fun begins tomorrow. And we can start writing Tasha K's eulogy or her victory speech. We will know very shortly in the next day or two what's it actually looking like. All right. So thank you everybody for joining. We'll see you tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. We will have Lillie and we will have defense criminal and civil defense attorney Jess Jonda on here to her to actually give a real legal breakdown, because she is following it and I was talking to her and it is juicy. All right, you guys, thank you so much, Lillie. And let me make sure I get everyone. Maxilla Desir, thank you so much for the super chat. Just want to make sure I got all my super chat money out. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys, and I will talk to you later. Bye, my little Tattle Tells.